Like I've heard that before where you have like three serious relationships. Like one shows you what love could be, the second one teaches you all of these
Yes.
lessons, and then your third one is where you get to implement all those lessons.
Yes, there's someone who wrote a book on that. It's like a short book. I
Yeah,
think I yeah, I think I've heard that too.
weird.
Um, but when do you know? Well, I mean, I knew the day I married your dad that I should marry him, you know. That morning I knew I should call it off.
So you just
And
didn't trust your intuition.
yeah, and also there were 200 people at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and I was stubborn as hell. Um, but when my dad, when your grandfather came to the suite to pick me up, to walk me down the aisle, he said, "You don't have to do this. We can just have a kick-ass party."
Mm, mm. I mean,
Everyone knew but me.
I think you
I mean, I
knew,
got
but
my
it's
three
it's
kids. It was always that wonderful, of course, you
right.
know.
But I do think you
Um,
knew. It's just hard to actually make that decision. It's hard to just kind of like not worry also about what everybody else around you is going to think if I call off the wedding because you just there were 200 people there. Okay, what if there were only like five of your closest friends? Then what would you have done?
right. I was stubborn. I mean, because the two closest people at the time in my life told me months before not to marry him. And that was the only fights I ever got with those two people, Wendy and your uncle. Separately, they both said, "You're making a huge mistake. What are you doing?"
Mm.
And all my other friends were getting married at the time. And, I felt the pressure and
Wow.
it
Well, that's
was
a whole nother thing. And I feel like so many people fall into the timeline trap of like, we've been together for so long, everybody else is getting married. This is just like the next step. And then like you realize
right.
we're not compatible. Like, what are we doing? But you're already too far along and you're like, my clock is ticking. I have to have babies. I can't start over.
Exactly, exactly. And then you end up staying for a long time because, I mean, I thought about leaving him. We almost split up before I had you. And then I had you, and
That changes everything.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And then when I thought about leaving after I had you, fertility is not a problem in our family, clearly. Then, surprise, surprise, I had the twins. So all three, none of y'all were planned. You were
No,
loved and wanted, but you
those are the best
so
surprises, right? But do you think that that
exactly.
relationship taught you more about yourself than about anything about love?
Absolutely. Yeah. I learned a lot about myself being married to your dad and what I would put up with and what I wouldn't. But it took me going to really bottoming out in the marriage before I left.
Mm. So it seems like it's a common thing that there is always a bottom out before something big ends up happening.
Yeah, maybe you're the relationship coach. Do you find that with your clients?
I think so, which is why sometimes I try and like portray the message of being more proactive than it is to be reactive because none of us learned how to be in healthy relationships growing up. Like I will say this, everybody who follows me know I'll say that we should have been taught at least the basics in school. Um,
Mhm.
but we don't have the skills to be proactive to know what to do to handle before hard moments actually happen or before you have to have hard conversations or how to pay attention to the signs. And everything is always so reactive. We're always reacting to like the huge blow up fight where things ended up getting like, I don't know, verbally hard or verbally abusive, or like we had this crazy moment and then now we're reacting afterwards instead of learning what it takes to create good relationships moving forward. Um, so, I do think that I forgot what the question was that you began with.
Like, do you see? Because when you said that this seems to be always kind of like a bottoming out or something before
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
breakups.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just a
yeah.
reactive mode. We always have to kind of like hit that rock bottom moment. But like, what if we were proactive to learn how to actually be emotionally intelligent and emotionally safe and available in our relationships? Then maybe we don't have those rock bottom moments, I guess is my point.
Right.